And we are live. Little bit delayed in getting started this evening. Hopefully it didn't catch anybody out. Let's see. Let me unpin that message. Beautiful, beautiful guys. Let me know. Can you hear me? Are we there? Let's see. Lincoln New says, yes, beautiful, beautiful. Oliver Porridge says, can't wait. Bino says, let's go. Sky Crash, let's go. So says, guys, hear me out. Oliver Prophet, hello. Alkish says, let's go. Guys, let's do it then. Let's do it. Somebody said W in the chat, guys. Let's get that W in the chat for tomorrow. Everybody spam W in the chat for me. Let me know. Can you hear me? Maria, good to have you on. Very nice to see you over there. Charlotte 26, wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's get going. Come on, guys. We're going to be starting this paper at 10 past. I'm just going to give people a few moments to join. Probably we're going to be going through this whole paper. Let's see. Comma says W, Ty said W. Guys, let's get that W in the chat. Come on, come on, come on. Let's see. Are we live on TikTok? We should be live. Beautiful. It's looking like we are up and running. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Markup says, let's go. Yes, sir, let's go. Okay, good to see. Is that Flash I see? Come on, Flash. Good to have you on. Says all good here. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, guys, let me put my tunes back on because we're vibing tonight for the final preparations. Does anybody know a Sharkey? Does anybody in the chat know a Sharkey? I can't play it too loud because of copyright. 4 minutes until we're going to get started, guys. Just giving people a little chance to join. We had 800 of us on the YouTube earlier. Let's see. Are we going to get that high this evening? 250 at the moment. Let's see, let's see, let's see. XAG Dragon said it's time to chef up a meal. Come on, come on. I like it very much, guys. T minus 3 minutes. We're going to get going in just a few minutes. Just giving people a little chance to join. For anybody who doesn't know, I was actually live 5 till 6:30 as well, doing a higher paper. We did a foundation paper 7 till 8:30, and we are back again for our final session of the evening. LB the first in the chat with the lightning bolt emojis. Come on. Good to have you on. Good to have you on, my friend. Okay. Izmir Aviator said I was here for all of them. Rah, 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 rah. Good work, mate. Good work. El says this better save me for tomorrow. El, all I can say is we're going to be doing this paper, going through question by question, making sure that we get them. Let's see. Any questions? You says, what time are we starting? We're going to be starting in just 3 minutes at 10 past. Just giving people a little chance to join. And guys, I have now been going for over 3 hours. I have been going for over 3 hours. So forgive me. We're getting into this into the part of the evening where, you know, we start to get a little bit tired. We start to get a little bit forgetful. If I make any, well, I'm not going to make any mistakes, but if we do make any silly mistakes, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. It shouldn't happen, but I have been going for about 3 hours, over 3 hours. So you know what it's like out here. You know what it's like out here when you've been going for 3 hours. Okay, 2 minutes. And we're going to get started. Just giving people a little chance to join. We have a good paper this evening. We're going to be doing the June or May 2023 paper. EdXL Paper 1 Non-Calculator. The format for anybody's new, welcome, welcome, is basically I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do each of the questions, and then I'm going to go through the answers. The longer the question, the more time I'm going to give you. Tay, can you let me know? Are you in the chat? Okay, T minus 1 minute, and we're going to get cracking. LB the first, you're very welcome, my friend. Always a pleasure. Charlotte 26 says, yes, this will help for AQA. You're exactly right. So a couple of people asking if this is going to help for AQA. The answer to that is definitely, definitely. Is it exactly the same? Nope. Little bit different. Some tiny differences in content. I'm pretty sure all the questions in this paper off the top of my head would come up in AQA anyway. The format of the paper is a little bit different just in terms of the fonts and that kind of thing. They're laid out a bit differently. But other than that, guys, it's going to be perfect revision. Perfect revision. Haha, XDG Dragon. We're out here, man. We're out here. Okay, guys, let's get going. Actually, 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. Let's just wait till 10 past. Yep, the time is 10 past. Question number 1. Work out 8.46 divided by 0.15. 8.46 divided by 0.415. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to go through it, and then I'm going to go through the answer. Let's see what we can do. What do we think for this one? It's going to be a fairly specific method for this. Well, actually, I say only. 3 marks is quite a lot. And this is a super important topic for tomorrow. I think it's very likely that they start the paper this way, to be honest. And guys, actually, let me know in the chat if you can, please. Can you hear my music? I'm hoping you can't hear my music. But if you can, I'm going to have to turn it down a bit, just because copyright and that kind of thing. Maria says no. Thank you, Maria. Lincoln New says nope. Okay, beautiful. Let me plug my laptop back into charge. Fantastico. Yep, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that very much. Let's get going with question number 1 then. So work out 8.46 divided by 0.15. When we divide a decimal by another decimal, the best way to do it is going to be to firstly remove all of our decimal places. So we're going to start off by multiplying both of these numbers by 100, and that is going to remove our decimal places. We can see we have 2 decimal places over here and 2 decimal places over here. So we can rewrite this as 846 divided by 15. Now, because we've multiplied the number we're dividing and the number we're dividing by both by 100, it's not going to change the actual value. So now what we need to do is 846 divided by 15. Now, 2 ways to do this. We could do this directly with the bus stop. We could do 846 divided by 15 directly, or we could do 846 divided by 5 and then divided by 3. So you could go with either of those methods. I'm going to do it with the 15 directly just because that's what most people will have done. So we're going to write out our bus stop, 846 on the inside and 15 on the outside. We're going to do 15s into 8. That's going to be 0, remainder 8. Then we're going to do 15s into 84. 15 times by 5 is 75. So it's going to go in 5 times fully. And 84 is 9 bigger than 75. So we're going to carry our 9. Next up, we're going to do how many 15s into 96. Well, 15 times by 6 is 90. So it's going to go in 6 times fully. And then we're going to have a remainder. What's our remainder going to be? Well, 96 is 6 bigger than 9. So our remainder is going to be 6. Final step, what can we do? Well, we're going to write our decimal point in and our 0 placeholder there because it didn't go in perfectly. And then 15's into 60. 15 times 4 is 60. So it's going to go in 4 times nicely like that, giving us our answer, reading off the top of 56.4. Guys, if you got that one, solid start to the paper. If you didn't, I would recommend revising that topic. I do think it's very likely to come up tomorrow. Probably it's going to be close to question 1. Okay, next question. Another 3 marker, another crucial topic for tomorrow. Those of you who were with me for the earlier higher session will know that a question like this, or very similar to this, did come up. The question says, work out 7 3/8 minus 2.5. Give your answer as a mixed number. Guys, let's have a look and see what we can do for this one. I'm going to give you a couple of moments to think about this, and then we are going to go through it. Jay says, my cousin works on GTA 6. I can imagine I can imagine, a couple of your friends might be in the chat. But thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate it. Or sister, I don't know if it's. I get this question all the time now. Not all the time now. I mean, I've got this question again. So for anybody who's new, lots of people are asking my qualifications, my GCSE results, what I got in my A levels as well. So just to get it out the way quickly. So I'm 24. I know I look younger than 24, most people say, but I'm 24. I've been tutoring for 8 years, since right after I did my GCSEs. My GCSE results, I got 12 A stars. A-level results was 3 A stars, including maths and further maths. My degrees in economics, I went to the London School of Economics. That gets everything out of the way right at the start, because I know that's going to be the most popular question. Okay, question number 2. Drop your answer in the chat for me when you're ready. Work out 7 3/8 minus 2.5. 7 3/8 minus 2.5. Has anybody got an answer? It says give your answer as a mixed number as well. Yep, got quite a few answers going in there. Lots of 4 and 7/8. Nice to see. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. How are we going to work out 7 3/8 minus 2.5 as a mixed number? Step number 1, we need to rewrite our mixed numbers as improper fractions. How are we going to do that? We're going to do our number here, 7, which is not to do with the fraction, times by the number on the bottom. 7 times by 8 is going to be 56. Then we're going to add that number on the top. 56 plus 3 is 59. So we have 59 over 8 minus. And then what we're going to do is we're going to convert 2.5 into a mixed number as well. We're going to do 2 times by 2, which is 4, plus the 1 on the top is going to be 5. So 59 over 8 minus 5 over 2. Greg H22, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next step, what are we going to do? To subtract one fraction from another, we're going to have to rewrite them over a common denominator. So here we have 59 over 8. And we're going to rewrite this one as a fraction over 8. So we're going to times the top and bottom both by 4. 5 by 4 is 20. And on the bottom, we're going to have 8. Next step, what are we going to do? Well, to subtract one fraction from another, we're going to do the top, take the top. Now that we have the same thing on the bottom, 59 minus 20 is 39. So we have 39 over 8. Final step, we're going to convert this into a mixed number. How many times does 8 go into 39? Well, the multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. So we can say that it goes in 1, 2, 3, 4 times fully. And 39 is 7 bigger than 32. So we're going to have a remainder of 7 over 8. Guys, if you got that one, beautiful work, beautiful work. If not, hopefully that one made sense. Like I say, super important topic for tomorrow. Super important topic. Okay, moving on. Question number 3. Nice problem solving. 4 marks up for grabs. 4 marks up for grabs. Okay, at the moment we have how many on the TikTok and how many on the channel? Nice to see. We actually have quite a few of us over on the TikTok. 700, in fact, 800. Beautiful. And 500 on the channel. That's sick. Okay, very nice. Guys, I was just going to say, the plan for this evening session, we're going to go through this paper. Probably every question depends a little bit on time. And then at the end, I'm going to be sharing some of my best tips for mindset, for exam performance, for managing kind of exam stress, nerves, anxiety. Loads of people get it. I'm also going to be sharing some breathing techniques that you can use to control the feeling if you do get a bit nervous in the exam, and also some of the common pitfalls right at the start of the paper. This is my plan, to share all of this at the end. So make sure to remind me. I'm going to be pretty frantic in this session, mainly because I'm going to be explaining everything. So remind me at the end if you are interested. Spam the chat at the end after we do the party. Spam the chat and say, "Come on, man, give us the stuff that you mentioned at the start." Just to remind me, just in case I forget. Hopefully I won't forget, but just in case I do, because it's super important, guys. Super, super important. Okay, question number 3. Let's have a look at this one. I can see a few answers going in the chat. What's it going to be? This question says a cube has a total surface area of 150 centimeters squared. Work out the volume of the cube. How are we going to do this? Well, to work out the volume of a cube, we know that we need to multiply the base by the width by the height. So that's what we're going to need to work out first of all. Let's think about what a cube looks like. I'm going to embarrass myself and try and draw a good cube. That was not too bad. We can see a cube here. So it has a total surface area of 150. In other words, all of the areas of all of the squares added together is 150. So to work out the area of one of them, we can divide it by 6. Now, why is that useful? Because if we have the area of the squares, we can square root that to get the side lengths. So we're going to do 150 divided by 6. Let's do bus stop method for that. We may as well. So 150 divided by 6. 6 is into 1 is 0, remainder 1. 6 is into 15 is 2, remainder 3. 6 is into 30 is 5. So we know the area of each face is 25. We also know, so that's the area of a face. So area of each face. We also know that the area of each face is equal to, let's say, the length times by the width, which is also the same. So we can square root this 25. That's going to give us 5. And this is going to be the lengths and the widths of each of the squares. Now that we have this, we can do our 5 cubed to work out the volume. That's going to be 5 times 5 times 5. 5 by 5 is 25, by 5 again is 125, giving us our answer to question number 3. 5 seconds to screenshot that one if you got it. Wonderful job. Nicely done, N. Luton. Nicely done, Ziggy T. Nicely done, Iman. Nicely done, Shining V. Said 8 out of 10 cube, not going to lie. I will take 8 out of 10, man. I'll take 8 out of 10. Okay, question number 4. This one, I'm just going to go through because it's a frequency polygon question, and it's going to be pretty difficult if you don't have the paper printed out. So the question says, the table shows information about the daily rainfall in a town for 60 days. It says, draw a frequency polygon for this information. Frequency polygon, how are we going to do it? What we're going to do is we're going to plot our frequencies against our midpoints, and then we're going to connect them with a straight line. So halfway between 0 and 5 is going to be 2.5, and it's going to have a frequency of 8. We can see that 10 boxes represents a frequency of 10, so it's going to go up to 8 there. Next up, we're going to have 5 to 10 as 24, 5 to 10 as 24. I'm going to go Bosch. 10 to 15 is going to be 13. 10 to 15 is going to be 13, 3 boxes above that 10. 15 to 20 is going to be 11. Let's get that written in. 15 to 20 is 11 Bosch. And then we can say 20 to 25 is 4. 20 to 25 is 4. So that's going to be all the way down there. Now, crucially, 2 things to note. Number 1, we're going to join these all with straight lines. So I'm going to go like this, like this, like this, and like this. And the next really important thing to note here, guys, is that it doesn't connect to 0. So that's a really common mistake, is thinking that that connects to 0, but it actually doesn't. We just start at the 2.5 over here. Okay, guys, we're going to move on now to question number 5. Please have a think about this question. I'm going to give about 1 minute to have a think about it, and then I'm going to go through it. You're definitely going to get the most out of this session if you at least try to do the questions. I know it's late. I know it's 20 to 9. I know a lot of you are probably done with your main revision and you're lying in bed, you're sitting on the sofa, you're on, I was going to say the bus, but hopefully not this time. And you just kind of got this on as a bit of background noise. If you're in that group, guys, it's cool. It's cool. Chill this evening. If you're feeling absolutely exhausted, guys, from the revision you've done today, from the lit on Monday, biology on Tuesday, exam today if you had one. Oh, I accidentally just made myself bigger, I think. I think my webcam camera's glitched. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me fix that. Okay, yeah. It's you don't want that close-up shot, trust me. That should be fixed now. Okay. Don't know why I did that, giving you the little close-up on the nose there. But yeah, if you're feeling knackered, prioritize getting rested now. Don't worry too much about doing the questions. You can just watch me. Yeah, I don't know how long it was like that for, low key, but I only just spotted it. Okay, guys, let's have a look at question 5 anyway. Let's have a look at question 5. Okay, question number 5. And I'm just going to have to now move myself to the left a little bit. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Okay, the question says that here the universal set is the numbers 1 through 10. A is the set of odd numbers, B is the set of square numbers, and we're asked to complete the Venn diagram. So this universal set, shown with this kind of squiggly E, this tells us all of the numbers involved in the question. So these are all of the numbers we're going to have to put in the Venn diagram. So we're going to go through them one by one and see if they fit into A, into B, both, or neither. So the number 1, is this an odd number? Yes. Is it a square number? Yes, because 1 times 1 is 1, so that's going to go in the middle. The number 2, is it odd? No, it's not. Is it even? Sorry. Is it odd? No, it's not. Is it square? No, it's not. So it's going to go on the outside. The number 3, is it odd? Yes, it is. So it's in A, but it's not a square number. The number 4, this one's a square number because 2 times 2 is 4, but it's not odd. Number 5 is odd, but it's not a square number. Number 6 is not odd and not square, so it's going to go on the outside. Next up, number 7. Number 7 is odd, but it's not square, so it's going to go on the left. Number 8 is not odd, and it's not square, so it's going to go on the outside. Number 9 is odd and it's square, so it's going to go in the middle. And number 10, this one is going to go on the outside. Why? Because it's not odd, and it's also not square. So we go through one by one, we put all of those numbers in. Nice to see 630 of us watching on the YouTube at the moment. Let's see if we can surpass our record, guys, of 860 on the stream earlier. That was so cool, man. Okay, next up, part B. This one says, a number is chosen at random from the universal set. Find the probability that the number is in the set B apostrophe. B apostrophe. So what does this mean? This is part of our set notation. B apostrophe means not B, not B. So what's the probability that it's not in B? Well, it's going to be the number of numbers which are not in B out of the total number of numbers. We have 10 numbers in total. We can see 3 of them are in B, which means 7 of them are not in B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be 7 over 10 as our answer. If you got that one, nicely done. Moving on to question number 6. This is another one which I'm just going to go through because it's a little bit awkward to do if you don't have the paper. So the question says the scatter graph shows information about the ages and weights of some of the babies, or some babies. We have weight on the y-axis, age on the x-axis. It says describe the relationship between age and weight of babies. Now to do this, guys, all that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to say, as age increases, what happens to weight? We can see that there's a positive correlation. As age increases, weight increases. So as age increases, weight increases. So that is going to be our answer to that one. Hey, Greg, thank you very much for the donation. Appreciate that very much. Okay, next up, question. What question is it? 6. Yeah, question 6, part B. Another baby has a weight of 5.8 kilograms. Using the scatter graph, find an estimate for the age of this baby. So we know that the weight is going to be 5.8. We know the weight is going to be 5.8. And we can see that we have 10 boxes between the 4 and the 6. So what that means is that a distance of 2 is 10 boxes. So we can do 2 divided by 10, which is 0.2. That's going to tell us how much each of our boxes is worth. 0.2 below the 6 is going to be 5.8. So this is going to be the weight. Now, how can we work out an estimate for the age of the baby? This is where we're going to use our ruler and we're going to draw a line of best fit. So I'm going to do my best on here, even though I don't have a ruler. That's looking pretty good to me. Now what we can do, and a line of best fit, guys, is a line which goes roughly through all of our data. Doesn't have to be perfect. They're going to be quite generous with this. Then we can draw a line from our 5.8 over to our straight line. And we can also draw a line down. Now we can try and work out what that corresponds to. So we can see that it's 2 of the small boxes below the 4. We said each of them on the y-axis was 0.2. The scales on the x and y are the same. So it's going to be 2 0.2 boxes below the 4. So it's going to be 0.4 below the 4. So it's going to be 3.6. 3.6. Some of you might have gotten 3.4, 3.7, 3.8. They're going to be pretty generous, to be honest. They're going to be pretty generous because not everybody's line of best fit is going to look exactly the same. So they're going to be quite nice with this. They're going to be quite nice. Okay, moving on to our next question, question number 7. Really good one. Drop your answer in the chat for me if you know how to do it. Let's have a look and see what we can do. Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Let me get my tunes back on. Quite a few answers going in the chat. The tune at the moment, if anybody's wondering, by the way, shall I launch the My GCSE Maths playlist? This is a song at the moment, if anybody knows what it is. I am into my Afro beats, I gotta say. I'm into my Afro beats. Pray by Victoni. Does anybody in the chat know what this is? And then 20 seconds and we're gonna go through it. But does anybody know this song? Or does anyone know Victoni in general? Autumn says, yeah, share the playlist. Shall I do it? A man says, yes, I want the playlist. Okay, maybe I'll make the playlist. And Luton says, yes, playlist release. Okay, guys, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. The My GCSE Maths Afro Beats playlist. My God. Okay, I'm not even going to say that. But yeah, okay. Question number 7. Let's get cooking. It says the price of a holiday increases by 20%. This 20% increase adds £240 to the price of the holiday. We're then asked to work out the price of the holiday before the increase. A couple of different ways of thinking about this, but really what we need to do is we need to work out 100% of the original price. How are we going to do it? Well, we know that the 20% increase adds £240. So we know that 20% of our number, so 20% of the original, I'll write it out properly, 20% of the original is equal to £240. So what we're going to do is we're going to scale this up to 100% of the original. We could either times by 5 straight away, or we could find 10% first by dividing by 2. So we're going to get £120. And then we can find 100% by timesing that one by 10. So we have 120 times by 10. We can think of this as adding a 0 on the end. We're going to get 1,200. Guys, amazing work. If you got that one, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 8. Question number 8. We have 3 marks up for grabs in this one. A classic pressure, force, and area question. Zane said, I like to listen to My Life by Pat Key. It's a really good Afro beat. You should give it a listen. Interesting. I'll give that a listen, man. I'll give that a listen. This song of theirs, come on, is rubbish though. Okay. Ross Mack said, I know a bloke called Big Tony. This is some reference to a movie or something. Question number 8. Yeah, exactly. Schmassford. I actually clocked that after I said it. I clocked that after I said it. Ideally, I would have clocked it before I said it, but hey ho. Okay, guys. Luckily, Planverse, I didn't actually say it because I gave enough of a pause. I think I gave enough of a pause that I was okay. Although I need to just not mention it because it's going to draw more attention. Okay, question number 8. Shall we have a look? Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for me, and we're going to go through it. Yeah, thank the community's got my back. The community's got my back. I've had some bad ones over time, guys. I've had some bad ones over time. Let's see what we can do. Okay, quite a few people are ready. Let's see what's popping for this one. Can we get above 1,000 live viewers? Guys, if we can, that is going to be absolutely unbelievable. Don't revise, only goon. What? Not sure what that means, but hey ho. Okay, the diagram shows a solid cylinder on a horizontal floor. The cylinder has a volume of 1,200 and a height of 40. The cylinder exerts a force of 90 newtons on the floor. Work out the pressure on the floor due to the cylinder. So we have our formula up here. Pressure is equal to force divided by area. So what's our force? What's our area? Well, it says that the force is 90. So pressure equals force divided by area. We know that our force is 90. So it's going to be 90 over the area. What's the area going to be? Well, we know that the volume is 1,200 and the height is 40. So how can we work out the area? We also know that to work out the volume of a cylinder, we do the area of the face on the end times by the height. So so we can say area times height equals volume. So to work out the volume, to work out the area, we can do our volume divided by our height. So the area is going to be 1,200 divided by 40. We can divide the top and bottom both by 10, cancel that out. Then we can do 120 divided by 4, that is going to be 30. So now we have our area, it's 30, working out our pressure then, we can substitute that in, 90 divided by 30, divide top and bottom by 10 again, 9 divided by 3 is 3. And there we have our answer. If you got that one, superb job. I need to make myself a bit smaller now. That reset to too big, I think. There we go. I think that's okay, eh? Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So our answer to question number 8 was 3. Well done if you got that one. Moving on to question number 9. Drop your answer in the chat for me for this one. A little one marker. It says use these graphs to solve these simultaneous equations. So I want a value for x and a value for y if you can. That's jokes. Hansom said this guy could be 30 or 17. That's to be honest, I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean. Well, I'll tell you, I'm 24. So actually almost exactly halfway between. Question number 9. What's it gonna be? Okay, I'm seeing a few answers go in there and a couple of correct answers as well. Great job, guys. Great job. Okay, question number 9. It says use these graphs to solve the simultaneous equations 2 minus 2y equals x, which is this line here, and 2y equals 3x minus 22, which is this line here. How do we solve simultaneous equations from graphs? Whenever it comes to solving two simultaneous equations using a graph, all we have to do is look at where those two lines intersect each other. Those two lines intersect each other here with an x value of 6 and a y value of negative 2. So we can say that the solutions is x equals 6 and y is equal to negative 2. If you got that one, wonderful job. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 10. We have 4 marks up for grabs in this one. Here is a pentagon. Here is a pentagon. VO2 said, Matt, would you say as soon as you open the paper to do the questions you can do, or just do it from the start? I would recommend a little bit of a mixture of both, right? So you want to be doing the questions you can do, but normally that's going to be the start of the paper as well, because it starts off a little bit nicer. So my advice would be to just work through in order. But if there's any questions that you can't do, skip them. Feel free to come back to them. It really also depends a little bit on what grade you're aiming for. But I'm going to talk about exam technique at the end of this session after we've done this paper. Okay, question number 10. Do we have an answer? Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready, and we're going to go through it. Question number 10. Okay. Quite a few people putting answers in the chat. Okay, Ranya's ready. Zach's ready. Ross is ready. Guys, let's have a look. The question says here is a pentagon. Angle AED is 4 times by angle ABC. So AED is 4 times ABC. Right off the bat, as soon as I see that, I'm going to be thinking, okay, well, I'm going to call I'm going to call ABC X. So I'm going to call this one X. And then I'm going to call AED. What's it going to be if it's 4 times that? It's going to be 4X. Where can we go from there? Well, we know something about the angles in a pentagon, or we can work something out at least. We know that the interior angles in a shape is equal to the number of sides minus 2 times by 180. So this is the sum of the interior angles in a shape. In the case of a pentagon, we have 5 sides, so we can do 5 minus 2 times 180, which is 3 times 180. 3 times 18 is 54. Add a 0 is going to be 540. You could definitely do that using column method. Now, what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that all of these angles are going to add together to give 540. So what can we do? Well, we can set up an equation. We know 120 plus 110 plus 135 plus our 4x plus our x all together are going to be equal to 540. Just going to write this in. Equals 540. Next step, this is now an equation which we can rearrange and solve for x. Let's simplify. 120 plus 110 is 230 plus 135. 230 plus 135 is going to be 265 plus 4x plus x. No, it's not going to be 265. It's going to be 365. My bad. 4x plus x is going to be 5x is going to be equal to 540. Now we have an equation which we can rearrange and solve for x. So we're going to do 540 minus 365. We can use the column method for that. It's going to be 175, I believe. 5x is equal to 175, 35, 130. Yeah, 175. Beautiful. Use column subtraction for that. Absolutely. Now to find the value of x, we can divide through by 5. 175 divided by 5. 5's into 1, 0 remainder 1. 5's into 17, 3 remainder 2. 5's into 25 is 5. So we're going to get that x is equal to 35 as our answer. The question though asks for angle AED. Looking back, AED was 4x. So we're going to do 35 times by 4, which is going to be 140 as our answer. Guys, if you got that one, wonderful job. Superb. Superb if you got that one. Okay, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to our next question. Cue number 11. What's popping with this one? Can we get it? Definitely give this one a go. Badu says, everybody liked the live. Thank you, brother or sister. Okay. And Luton says, I'm so cucked. I actually did okay on the foundation video you did. All I can say is good luck. You're in the right place. You're in the right place. Nice to see roughly 1,000 of us still on the TikTok. Absolutely fantastic. If you want to come over to the YouTube, let me know if you join, and I will give you a bit of shout out. And I am actually going to ask now, if you are watching over there, please consider coming to the channel because we currently have 800 viewers and we have never got past 1,000 before. The record at the moment is 860. It would be sick if we can get this community on YouTube past 1,000. That would just be mind-blowing. That would be mind-blowing. Question 11, guys. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready. And we're going to go through it. Okay. Quite a few people ready. Let's see what's popping with this one. Question number 11. It says 6x to the power of 5, y to the power of 3 squared over 3x squared, y to the 7 times 4x, y to the negative 3. Can we write this in the form a, x to the b, y to the c, where a, b, and c are integers? This is an algebraic fraction question. We're going to have to simplify this. Step number 1, we're going to simplify our top and simplify our bottom. How do we simplify our bottom? Our top, sorry. 6x to the 5, y to the 3 to the power of 2. We're going to have to raise each of our terms or each of our parts inside of our brackets to the power of 2. So we're going to do 6 to the power of 2. That's going to be 36. Then we're going to do x to the power of 5 to the power of 2. When we have a base to a power raised to another power, we times those powers together. So we're going to have 5 times 2 is 10. Next up, y to the power of 3 to the power of 2. We're going to do the same thing. 3 times by 2 is going to be 6. So we squared the 6. we did 5 times 2 and 3 times 2. Next step, let's simplify the bottom. We're going to do our left-hand part times by our right-hand part. Number times number, 3 times 4 is 12. X to the power of 2 times x to the power of 1 is going to be x to the power of 3. Y to the power of 7 times by y to the power of negative 3. When we have a base to a power times the same base to another power, we add the powers. 7 plus minus 3 is 7 minus 3. So we're going to have y to the power of 4. Next step, let's simplify. We're going to divide the top and bottom both by 12. We're going to end up with a 3 on the top and nothing on the bottom. We're going to divide the top and bottom by x to the power of 3. We're going to end up with x to the 7 on the top and nothing on the bottom. We're going to have y to the power of 6 divided by y to the power of 3. We're going to have y to the power of 2 on the top and nothing on the bottom. When I say nothing, I actually mean 1 on the bottom. So we've simplified this 3x to the 7, y to the power of 2. The other way to think about this is as 36 over 12, and then 10 take 3, 6 take 4. Either way, it's going to give the same answer. 3x to the 7, y to the power of 2. If you got that one, nicely done. Well done, man like non-bread. Come on, what a name, what a name. Well done, milkshake. All the foods and drinks are out tonight. Well done, Zainab. Well done, Ghost Light. Oh, need to turn the music down a bit, I think. Okay, music's down a bit. Question number 12. Guys, let's give this one a good go. Tree diagrams, quite likely to come up tomorrow. Quite likely to come up tomorrow. If you're new here, welcome to the community. What is there to say? I'm going live over the course of the rest of GCSE maths. And yeah, this is what they're like. I was going to say something way better then, but my mind went blank because I'm so tired. So basically, if you're new here, welcome to the gang. Welcome to the gang. I go live a couple of days a week on social media, and I'm going to be going live for the rest of the GCSE maths period, helping you prepare for your exams. I'm going to ask in a couple of moments to leave the Google reviews again. Probably after this question, I'll do a couple of moments for the Google review. The way to keep me doing these free social media lives, I wish I could do all of the lives all of the time for free on social media, but unfortunately, I don't make any money from it. None of this stuff is monetized. The thing that I'm going to ask in return is if you could leave a Google review. It makes such a difference to me. I really, really appreciate it. Selflessly, it's going to help me out. And selfishly, it's going to keep me doing these free social media lives. And I can't stress that enough. To anybody who's already left one today, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Quite a few people have actually left one. But yeah, if anybody else is new, hasn't been here yet, if you're watching on the TikTok currently, you can see it in the link in my profile. There's a link to the Google review. If you're watching on the YouTube, either it's in the description of this video. So it's not the first link, that's for the streaming software. But if you click kind of more information, you can see the link for the Google review. It's also pinned in the chat. So guys, if you can, I would really appreciate it. There's also been quite a lot of trolls today who have left a random 1-star review, and it's actually pulling the average rating down, so it's no longer 5 stars. So it actually makes it even more important to leave a review if this is helping, and also if you do want me to keep doing the lives, because we don't want to let the bad guys win, man. That's something which really annoys me. We don't want to let the bad guys win. So if you can, guys, I would really appreciate it. And also what I will say is don't assume that somebody else is going to do it, because if everybody assumes that, then nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to do it. So if you can, I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, let's have a look. Question number 12. How are we going to do it? 3 marks up for grabs. What's it going to be? The question says that Martha plays a game twice. The probability tree diagram shows the probabilities that Martha will win or lose. Find the probability that Martha will lose at least 1 game. 2 different ways to do this. We could do all of the different combinations and add those probabilities together. So we could find the probability of win-lose, lose-win, and lose-lose, and add them together. But that's going to be a bit more effort. What's going to be easier is if we actually do 1 minus 1 minus the probability of win-win. Why is this going to work? Well, because this is the only way that she doesn't lose at least 1 game. So we can find this probability and do 1 minus it. The probability of winning and then winning win, and then win. When we go across the tree diagram, we multiply the probabilities together. So we're going to do 5 over 8 times by 2 over 9. We're going to do top times by top and bottom times by bottom. 5 times by 2 is 10. 8 times by 9 is 72. So we have 10 over 72. Now we're going to do 1 minus this. I should technically write that a bit clearer. So the probability of winning and then winning is 10 over 72. Now we're going to do 1 minus this. So 1 minus 10 over 72. Number 1 we can write as 72 over 72. We're going to take away 10 over 72. Now we're going to do top take top and leave the bottom. 72 take 10 is 62. So we have 62 over 72. Guys, if you got that one, wonderful, wonderful job. Not an easy question, eh? Not an easy question. Okay. Moving on. Question number 13 and 14. I'm not sure how many questions are in this paper, but we're going to try and get the whole thing done. We're going to try and get the whole thing done. Let's see if I've just had a notification saying we're up to 888 people on the YouTube. Guys, can we get it past 1,000? I think if everybody spams the like button now, it might get it up to 1,000. It might get it up to 1,000. That would be sick. That would be so sick. I'm just gonna have a quick look at those reviews, see if anybody actually left one, see if anybody else has annoyingly left dodgy ones. Let's have a look. Okay. I need to stop saying what people are doing because more people do it. Guys, the people who did just leave a review, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Question number 13. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for me, and we're going to go through it. We're going to go through it. Thank you, Jazzled. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it very, very much. Thank you, Daniel, Megan. Okay, guys, question number 13. Let's get it done. The question says, y is directly proportional to x. Y is equal to 24 when x is equal to 1.5. Then we're asked to work out the value of y when x is equal to 5. What are we going to do? Whenever we have a direct proportion question like this, we're going to start off by writing out that y is equal to k times by x. This is the formula for direct proportion. Next step, we're going to need to substitute in the values of y and x that we have in order to work out the value of k. We know that when y is 24, x is 1.5. So we can say 24 equals k times by 1.5. Next step, we need to find the value of k. So we're going to move this 1.5 over to the other side. So we can say that k is equal to 24 over 1.5. Now, this is not the easiest thing in the world to calculate. So how can we do it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the decimal on the bottom here. I'm going to times the top and bottom both by 2. We're going to have 48 over 3. Now it's a little bit nicer to see what k is going to be. We can use bus stop if we want. It's going to be 16. 48 divided by 3 is going to be 16. Next step, now we know that y is equal to 16x. We can find the value of y when x is equal to 5. We're going to have y is equal to 16 times by 5. We're going to have y is equal to 80. Guys, if you got that one, fantastic work. Superb, superb. We're going to move on to question 14. Question 14. Oh, 14b looks quite interesting. 14b looks quite interesting. Very important topic for our exam tomorrow. One of the most likely topics to come up in paper 1, I got to say. Okay. Let's get my tunes back on. Oh, 904 of us. 904. Ooh, can we push to 1,000? If we can't, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, guys. But it would be sick if we can. Okay, question 14. Have we got an answer? Drop it in the chat for me when you're ready. Yeah, nice. Good work, guys. Good work. And 14b, we're going to go through straight away as well. We're going to go through straight away as well because I've given you a fair bit of time for these ones. Okay, write 1 over 16 in the form 4 to the power of n when n is an integer, where I should say n is an integer. Guys, what are we going to do? Well, we need to recognize that this is being written as 4 to a power. And when we think about the tools that we have at our disposal here, we can think about having maybe fractional powers. We can think about having negative powers. What does a negative power do? Well, a negative power makes it 1 over, right? Negative power makes it 1 over. So here we can write this actually as 4 to the power of negative something. Now, what do we raise 4 to the power of to get it to 16? We raise it to the power of 2. So we can write this as 4 to the power of negative 2. Let me just write that a bit clearer. The reason is because the negative makes it 1 over, the negative makes it 1 over, and the 2 squares it. So 1 over 4 to the power of 2. 14b, well done if you got that one. Good work, King Bob. Good job, Val Ely. Hey, Val, good to have you on still, eh? Absolutely a pleasure. One of the founding class. Okay, part B. Has anybody got an answer for this one? Work out the value of 8 to the 5 over 3 minus 9 to the power of 3 over 2. What are we going to do? Okay, I can see the chat popping off. I can see the chat popping off. Yep, absolutely, guys. Well done, Axon. Well done, King Bob. Well done, A. Connie. Well done, Alex. Well done, Aiden. Well done to anybody who said 5. Actually, I'm not even worked this out yet. I'm saying that. I'm assuming you've got to be right because so many people have put it. Let's have a look. What's it going to be? Work out the value of 8 to the power of 5 over 3 minus 9 to the power of 3 over 2. Here we need to know how to deal with our fractional powers. How do we deal with fractional powers? Well, whenever we have a fractional power, we do the root of the number on the bottom and raise to the power of the number on the top. The root of the number on the bottom raised to the power of the number on the top. So 8 to the power of 5 over 3. We can write this firstly as the cubed root of 8 because of the 3 on the bottom, and we're going to raise that to the power of 5 because of the 5 on the top. What about 9 to the power of 3 over 2? Well, it has a 2 on the bottom, so we're going to do the square root and raise it to the power of 3 because we have a 3 on the top. Next step, what's the cube root of 8? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, so we have 2 to the power of 5 minus square root of 9 is 3, so we have 3 to the power of 3. 9 to the 2 to the power of 5 is going to be 32. Let's just work that out quickly so I don't make any silly mistakes. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. 16 times 2. That's the quickest way to do it, guys. Minus 3 cubed is 27. 3 times 3 times 3. 3 by 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So we have 32 take 27. 32 take 27 is gonna be 5. Guys, if you got that one, wonderful job. Wonderful job. It means that you have been revising. It means that you are looking good for tomorrow. Question 15. 3 marks up for grabs in this one. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Guys, if we do get this stream to 1,000 people watching on YouTube, let's spam the chat full of as many emojis as we can. Let's spam the chat full of as many emojis as we can. That's going to be a cool collective good job, eh? Question 15. Let's see what we can do. And to anybody who is watching on the YouTube, there is about on the TikTok, there's about 1,000 of us on the TikTok at the moment. If literally 100 or 200 of you come to the channel, I mean, it's going to screw things up, to be honest, on the TikTok, but it is going to push us past that number over on the YouTube, which would be insane, guys, which would be insane. Man like AMT in the chat, one of the OGs. Question 15. Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready, and we're going to go through it. HTW is not sure for this one. It's a tough one, I'll say. It's a tough one. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? I'm going to go through this question. Let's have a look. What's it going to be? The question says, the equation of line L1 is y equals 2x minus 5. The equation of the line L2 is 6y plus kx minus 12 is equal to 0. L1 is perpendicular to L2, and we're asked to find the value of k. We're told that we've got to show all of our working. How are we going to do it? Well, this is a classic kind of question, but with a bit of a twist made a little bit more difficult. But let's take this back to the basics. What do we know about perpendicular lines? We know that for perpendicular lines, the gradients of each other are the negative reciprocal. Perpendicular lines are lines which meet at right angles. We know that the gradients are the negative reciprocals of one another. What does negative reciprocal mean? It means we do negative and then 1 over. How can this help us? Well, we need to work out the equation of L2. We have the equation of L1. We know that the gradient, so the gradient of L1 is equal to 2. The gradient of L1 is equal to 2. Why? Because the general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. Now, we know the gradient of L1 is 2. What does that mean about the gradient of L2? Well, the gradient of L2 is going to have to be equal to the negative reciprocal of this, negative a half. How can we work out the value of k then? What we can do is we can rearrange this second equation to the form y equals mx plus c. Then we want the value of k, which is going to make m equal to negative a half. Let's get it done. So at the moment we have 6y plus kx minus 12 is equal to 0. Let's get it to y equals mx plus c. So we're going to move the 12 over and we're going to move the kx over. 6y is equal to minus kx plus 12. I minus kx and I added 12 to both sides. Next step, we're going to divide both sides of our equation by 6. We're going to get y equals minus k over 6x plus 12 divided by 6 is 2. Now, where can we go from there? Well, we know that the gradient of L2 is negative a half. We also know that the gradient of L2 is negative k over 6. So we can say that negative a half is equal to negative k over 6. Now we need to find the value of k which makes this true. How can we do it? Well, we're going to times both sides by negative 1. We're going to get a half is equal to k over 6. We're going to times both sides by 6. On the left-hand side, we're going to have 6 over 2 is equal to k. 6 divided by 2 is 3, giving us k equals 3 as our answer. Guys, if you, hey guys, I can see that we just got past 1,000 people watching live on the channel. Wicked. Should we get that emoji spam? The first thing, which is very important, is did we get that question? Did it make sense? Did it make sense? Did anybody get that question? That was a tough one, eh? That was a tough one. Guys, 1,000 people is absolutely awesome. Let's get those emojis in the chat as a little bit of a celebration. It's also going to be a bit of time to chill before the next question. It's late at night. It's 10 p.m. It's the day before GCSE maths. Guys, between now and the end of the paper, we want to be doing whatever we feel like is going to be best for our energy tomorrow. That's what we're optimizing for. Okay, I can see the emojis coming in the chat. Things we love to see. Red Tux Jelly's got the emojis. Taylor Everly with the emojis. Come on, come on. Hassan's in there with the crazy faces. Adam as well. Guys, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Guys, that's an achievement, eh? That's an achievement. The community's growing. To anybody who is new, welcome to my GCSE Maths. I'm going to be live a lot over the exam period. I'm going to be going live a couple of times a week. I'm conscious a few people are probably going to drop off as I waffle, but I'm going to be going live a couple of times a week between now and the end of GCSE Maths. I have a website, mygcsemaths.com. You can check that out, but we also have the free social media live streams as well. Okay, I'm going to keep things going because we have questions to get through. Question number 16. Let me just check how many questions are in the paper, actually. I don't know if we're going to go through all of them. There's quite a lot left. Maybe I'll speed run a few. What do we think, guys? Should we call it a day earlier rather than later, or should we go through the whole paper? I'm open to both suggestions. Okay, question 16 though for now. This one's going to be a good one. Let's have a look. Okay, I can see a lot of people in the chat saying to go through the whole paper. I can see a lot of people in the chat going through the whole saying go through the whole paper. Okay. Maybe we will go through the whole thing then. Maybe we will go through the whole thing. Maybe we will. Okay, question 16. Oh, I'm just going to have a sip of water so I don't lose my voice. Okay, question 16. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for me, and we're going to go through it. Let's have a look. Okay, Q16, what's popping? It says here is a sphere. Here is a sphere. We're told that 3/8 of the surface area of the sphere is 75 pi. We're asked to find the diameter of the sphere, diameter crucially, diameter of the sphere, giving our answer in the form a root b, where a is an integer and b is a prime number. Step number one, let's work out the surface area. So we know that 3/8 of the surface area is 75 pi. So we can say 3/8 times by x, which is the surface area, is equal to 75 pi. Step number one, let's work out this surface area. So what we're going to do is we are going to divide both sides by 3/8, also known as we can times both sides by 8 and then divide both sides by 3. So we're going to, how shall I say this? Yeah, let's do times both sides by 8, and then we can divide both sides by 3. On the left-hand side, the 3/8, the divide 8 and the times 8 are going to cancel. We're going to have 3x equals 75 pi times by 8 times by 4 is going to be 300 times by 8, therefore, is going to be 600. So we're going to have 600 pi. Where can we go from there? Well, we can divide both sides by 3. We're going to get x is equal to 200 pi. So we know that our surface area is equal to 200 pi. We multiplied both sides by 8 and then divided both sides by 3. A couple of different ways you can do that, but as long as you got 200 pi, you're going to be correct. Now, how do we work out the diameter? Let's firstly work out the radius. We know the surface area is 4 pi r squared, so we can say that 4 pi r squared is equal to our 1 of 200 pi. We can divide both sides by pi. We're going to get 4r squared is equal to 200. We can divide both sides by 4. We're going to get r squared is equal to 50. And now we can calculate the square root of both sides. We're going to get r is equal to the square root of 50. We can simplify this if we want to, the square root of 50, using our knowledge of simplifying surds. Well, 25 times by 2 is 50. 25 is a square number, so we can write this as root 25 root 2. The square root of 25 is 5, so we can simplify this even further to 5 root 2. So our radius then is going to be 5 root 2. What about our diameter? Well, the diameter is double the radius, right? The diameter is double the radius, so we can do 5 root 2 times by 2. To do a surd times by a number, we do the number on the outside times by the number. We're going to have 10 root 2 as our diameter. Guys, if you got that one, wonderful, wonderful job. A tricky question, without a shadow of a doubt. If you did get it, though, like I say, good work. Question 17, 4 marks up for grabs in this one. Make x the subject of the formula. Y is equal to 4 times by 2x minus 7 over 5x plus 3. I'm going to go through this one pretty quickly, guys, just because I don't want to keep this stream going too late. I want people to get a good night's sleep tonight. So I'm just going to go through this one now. I said this earlier. I'm going to say it again. Guys, this question is quite likely to come up, or a question like this. Specifically, I mean a question which has a variable that we're trying to make the subject, so make x the subject, on the top and the bottom of a fraction. When we have this, we need to use a trick which is going to come at the end of the question. So the first step here is spotting that we have an x on the top and an x on the bottom. So now that we've spotted that, what can we do? First of all, making x the subject, we're not going to like the fact that we have an x on the bottom. So we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 5x plus 3. I'm going to have on the left, y times by 5x plus 3. On the right is equal to 4 times by 2x minus 7. Next step, let's expand these brackets and simplify. Y times by 5x is going to be 5xy. Y times by 3 is going to be 3y. 4 times by 2x is going to be 8x. 4 times by minus 7 is going to be minus 28. Next step in a question like this, we want to make x the subject. We're going to move all of our x's onto one side, all of our other things to the other side. So I'm going to minus 8x from both sides. We're going to have 5xy minus 8x is equal to, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3y from both sides as well. We're going to have minus 28 minus 3y. Next step, what are we going to do? This is that trick that I was mentioning. to make x the subject here. We're going to have to find a way to isolate that x. How are we going to isolate it? Well, we're going to pull it out of, or we're going to put the left-hand side into brackets. What do we times by x to get 5xy? We times it by 5y. What do we times by x to get minus 8x? We times it by minus 8. Next up, what can we do to get our x on its own? We can divide both sides by 5y minus 8. We're going to get x is equal to minus 28 minus 3y over 5y minus 8. Guys, if you got that, absolutely fantastic job. Not an easy question there. Not an easy question. The reason, by the way, that we had to factorize up here, I'm conscious that I didn't say it, is because we had a letter connected with our x here, but we only had a number connected with it there, which meant that we couldn't bring them together. Couldn't bring them together. Okay, question number 18. Let's get this one done. It says 7 kilograms of carrots and 5 kilograms of tomatoes cost a total of 480 pence. The ratio of the cost of 1 kilogram of carrots to 1 kilogram of tomatoes is 5 to 9. Work out the cost of 1 kilogram of carrots and 1 kilogram of tomatoes. I'm going to give a minute or so to think about how to do this, and then I'm going to go through it. Let's see what we can do. Any questions in the chat, let me know. Okay, and this is very important for me to say right now. Very important for me to say. And I mean this seriously, what I'm about to say. I want to check how many people are on here at the moment. Let me have a quick look on the phone. Okay, we're still cruising about 1,000 of us on the TikTok. Awesome. Okay, guys, so there's currently about 1,900 people on here watching. The first thing I'll say is good luck for tomorrow, because I know a lot of people are going to go before the end of the session. At the end of the session, I'm obviously going to give good luck message and some mindset advice and stuff. But the other thing I want to say is this. If you do leave in the next few minutes, it's important that you know this. It's currently 11 minutes past 10. Guys, it's very late. It's very late. Just because I'm going through the paper, I'm going through all of the questions, it doesn't mean that you have to do the questions. Maybe you're sitting there at home, you don't want to go through the questions, you're super tired. If you're tired right now, if you're even a little bit tired, prioritize resting this evening. You can keep the stream on in the background, you can, for a bit of company or whatever, but please don't kind of really work hard to try and understand everything I'm going through and tire yourself out even more. This is after hours because I know people are going to be revising anyway. So I'm just here helping out, trying to make it a little bit easier. But guys, please do not get stressed out. If you're tired now and you don't want to go through the questions, use this as an opportunity to relax. Use this as an opportunity to relax. I mean, relax is a terrible word to use because nobody's relaxing right now. But what I mean is to try and rest at least. Try and rest at least. Me doing them does not mean that you have to do them. And just because some people in the chat are getting them right, guys, we're now into the last half of the higher paper. Very few people get these marks. Very few people get these marks. So please don't let it make you feel negative about tomorrow. Okay, question number 18. Should we give this one a go? Let's see, let's see. Anonymous said, sir, you need some rest. I can see it through your eyes. You are right, my friend. You are right. I do need some rest. However, I've been going on this stream for 5 hours now. However, guys, I'm willing to put in the work if you guys are willing to put in the work. The exam's tomorrow, so this is kind of our final push. So that's what I'll say to that. I am tired. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But yeah, that's what we do, guys. That's what we do. We're out here putting in the work. We're out here putting in the work. Okay. Question number 18. Let's see what we can do. It says 7 kilograms of carrots and 5 kilograms of tomatoes cost a total of 480 pence. I'm instantly thinking simultaneous equations. I'm thinking 7c plus 5t is equal to 480. Let's get it written down. So 7c plus 5t is equal to 480. Now, what's this second piece of information? Can we use it to set up an equation? Well, we're told that the ratio of 1 kilogram of carrot, or the cost of 1 kilogram of carrots, to the cost of 1 kilogram of tomatoes is 5 to 9. This doesn't give us another equation in this form, but what it does do is it tells us the relationship between the price of carrots, or the cost of carrots, and the cost of tomatoes. We know that the cost of carrots is going to be 5/9 of the cost of tomatoes. Or the other way around, the cost of tomatoes is going to be 9/5 of the cost of carrots, because we can see that carrots have 5/9 as many parts as our tomatoes. Which way around should we do it? I'm just going to have a quick check of something. Let's do 9/5. So let's say that T is equal to 9/5 times by C, because tomatoes is 9 parts, carrots is 5 parts. So T is 9/5 times by C. Next step, what can we do? Well, this is an equation which we can substitute into our other equation. We know that T is equal to 9/5C. So we can say that 7C plus 5 times by T, which is 9/5C, is equal to 480. Where can we go from there? We can simplify. 5 times by 9/5, the 5 on the outside, or the times 5 and the divide 5 are going to cancel. We're going to have 7C plus 9C is equal to 480. 7C plus 9C is 16C. 16C is equal to 480. We can divide both sides by 16. We're going to get C is equal to 30. Absolutely, you can do that using the column method, or long division is what I meant to say. So long division, we're going to get C is equal to 30. There I did 48 divided by 16 is 3, and then added the 0 on. Now that we know that the value of C is 30, we can find the value of T by substituting this back in. So we're going to sub this back in. We're going to have 7C, so 7 times by 30, plus 5T is equal to 480. This is an equation which we can now solve for T. 7 by 30 is 210, plus 5T is equal to 480. We're going to subtract 210 from both sides. 5T is equal to 480, subtract 210. That's going to be 270. Now we can do 270 divided by 5. That is going to be 54. That is going to be 54. Absolutely do that using the column method, guys, or the bus stop method. I mean, I did it in my head. You definitely should not do that. You should definitely use the bus stop method. We now have our answer is going to be that C is equal to 30 and T is equal to 54, if I don't draw a line through it. Okay. Question number 19. Let's have a look at this one. Looking at the chat. What are we saying? Man like Timeh says, Matt, what are you saying? I'm good. Thank you, my friend. I'm good. How are you doing? Abdul Khan said, who else doesn't get any of this? Yep. Very important to say. It kind of links to what I was saying before. Guys, we're in the hardest questions of the paper. However, what I will say is if you're aiming for a grade 5, 6, or 7, this question is one you could be getting. You could be getting. It's a topic which comes up a lot in exams, but it doesn't get taught that often, or definitely not that well in schools. Definitely not that well in schools. Okay. Just sending a quick text message, guys. Question number 19. Let's see what's popping for this one. Do we have an answer? Thank you very much, Vadiaz. I appreciate the support. Question 19. What's it going to be? The question says, the menu in a restaurant has starters, main courses, and desserts. There are 5 starters, 12 mains, and X desserts. There are 420 different ways to choose 1 starter, 1 main course, and 1 dessert. Work out the value of X. This is a classic combinations question. What do I mean by that? Well, we basically say that there are 420 different ways to combine the number of starters, the number of mains, and the number of desserts. Let's say that we had the number of desserts. How would we work out the number of combinations? We would times all of the numbers together. So here what we're going to do is we're going to say that we have 5 times by 12 times by X, the number of desserts. And that is going to be equal to 420, our number of combinations. Now we can rearrange and solve this equation. 5 times 12 is 60, so we have 60x equals 420. X is going to be equal to 420 divided by 60. We can divide top and bottom both by 10, cancelling those zeros. So we have 42 divided by 6. 42 divided by 6 is going to be 7. Our answer to that one, question number 19. Guys, if you got that one, wonderful job. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are going to move on to question number 20. Question number 20. I'm just going to have a quick look how many questions are left in the paper. Let's have a look. 22, 23, 24. And we're on 20. Guys, let's just drive this home. Let's drive this home. I'm going to do this next one quickly. Well, let me check what questions are important. That one I'll just do. 20, 21 I'll just do. 22 I'll just do. Oh, there's a lot of questions left, guys. There's a lot of questions left. Okay. I'm going to pick up the pace because I know people really want me to finish the paper. Okay. Question 20. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ayana Ruth Pyro said, guys, I just joined. Is this EdXL? Yes, my friend, it is EdXL. Okay, let's get this done. Question number 20. The question says, just 1 second, guys. Beautiful. The question says, for x is greater than or equal to 0, the functions f and g are such that f of x is 3x plus 4, and g of x is the square root of x plus 2 over 5. We're asked to find g to the minus 1 of x, the inverse function of g. What are we going to do? This is a classic method. It's a really good process to remember for the exam. How do we do it? To find an inverse function, we're going to start off by saying that y is equal to our function. So in this case, the square root of x plus 2 over 5. Then what we're going to do is we're going to rearrange this equation to make x the subject. So we're going to start off by multiplying both sides by 5 to move that divide 5. We're going to have 5y is equal to the square root of x plus 2. Next step, we're going to move the plus 2. We're going to minus it to do that. So 5y minus 2 is equal to the square root of x. Finally, how do we move the square root to the other side? We're going to square both sides of our equation. So we're going to have the whole of the left-hand side squared. 5y minus 2 squared is equal to x. Now, final step to find our inverse function. What are we going to do? We're going to take the left-hand side and we're going to swap the y for an x. So instead of 5y minus 2 squared, it's going to be 5x minus 2 squared. And that is going to be our inverse function. Pretty annoying, to be honest, for 2 marks. But hey ho, that's what we're dealing with. Okay, part B, this one's 3 marks. It says solve g of f of x is equal to 3. Step number 1, we're going to find g of f of x. How do we find g of f of x? Well, we're going to have to take f and we're going to substitute it into g. We're going to take f and we're going to substitute it into g. What's that going to give us? Well, substituting f into g. So the reason we're doing f into g is because f is the closer one. So f into g, at the moment, g is the square root of x plus 2 over 5. So we're going to take this f and we're going to plug it in instead of the x. So instead of root x, it's going to be root of 3x plus 4. So we're going to have the square root of 3x plus 4. And then we're going to copy down the plus 2 and the over 5. So plus 2 over 5. And that's going to be equal to 3. So this part is the g of f of x. And this is going to be equal to 3. Next step, we're going to solve this equation. So we're going to start off by moving the 5 over to the other side. We're going to have the square root of 3x plus 4. And then we're going to have plus 2 is equal to 5 times by 3 is going to be 15. Next step, what are we going to do? We're going to move this plus 2 to the other side. To do that, we're going to minus 2 from both sides. We're going to have the square root of 3x plus 4 is equal to 15 minus 2 is going to be 13. Next step, we're going to square both sides to move this square root. We're going to have 3x plus 4 is equal to 13 squared, which is 169. Next step, we're going to minus 4 from both sides. 3x is equal to 169 minus 4 is 165. Now, final step, 165 divided by 3, guys, is going to be 55. And that is going to be our answer to this one. If we got this, guys, fantastic job. A difficult question there. We are now on the last few questions of the paper. We're going to try and get this one done fairly quickly from this point onwards so everybody can get a good night's sleep. Just going to have a quick look how many people we have tuned in at the moment. Nice. 1,700 of us. Absolutely beautiful. Guys, you're out here putting in the work and it's going to pay off tomorrow. It's going to pay off tomorrow. Okay, let's have a look at question 21. Just going to turn my music back on. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to have a look, to try and figure out how we might do this. And then I'm going to go through it. Question 21. 24 questions in total. 30 seconds for this one. And then I'm going to go through it. Somebody's saying drop the playlist. Guys, let me know. Can you hear the music? You shouldn't be able to hear the music. If you could turn your volume up to max for me, somebody, and let me know. Can you hear the music? You shouldn't be able to hear it. Okay. Okay, good, good, good. That's a relief. That's a relief. Pretty much everybody is saying can't hear it. Oh, very slightly. Okay, that's good at least. That's good. That's good. I just need to be careful with copyright and that. Okay, that's more than 30 seconds. Let's have a look at this one. What are we going to do? Quite a tricky one, I would say. I would say this is actually quite a tricky one. How many marks? 4 marks. Let's have a look. Write down any circle theorems that we use. Everybody hates circle theorems. What can we do? The question says A, B, and D are points on a circle with center O. CDE is a tangent to the circle at D. Okay. And we can see it meets a radius there. So I'm thinking tangent meets a radius at 90. We're asked to work out the size of angle ADC. So ADC, that is going to be this angle here. How are we going to do it? Well, I'm looking at this and straight away I'm seeing 2 points on the circumference here, point B and point D. So I'm thinking, can I use my angles from the same chord? Can I use my angle at the center is double the angle at the circumference? I can see that these two from B and D join the center and it's 64. They also have lines joining the circumference. So actually I can say that this one is 32 degrees. The reason for this is angles. So angle at circumference is double the angle at the center. So this one's 32 degrees. Where can we go from there? Well, now that I have this one as 32, I can work out this one. Why? Because I know the angles in a triangle add up to 180, and I have an angle here 32, an angle here 51. So I can do 32 plus 51. That is going to be 83. And then I can do 180 minus 83. That is going to be 97. So this angle here is going to be 97. Where can I go from there? Well, this is vertically opposite this one. So this is also 97. And the reason for that is that vertically opposite angles are the same. Vertically opposite angles are the same. So that one's 97. Now, where can we go from there? Well, we can work out this angle here. Why? Because now again, we have angles in a triangle. We know angles in a triangle add up to 180. So we can do 97 plus 64. That is going to be 161. And then we can do 180 minus 161, which is going to be 19. And that is going to be our angle here. Finally, what circle theorem can we use to close the door on this question? Well, we know that the tangent meets the radius at a right angle. So this is going to be 90 degrees. What does that mean? It means that this angle here, angle ADC that we actually want, is going to be our 90 degrees minus our 19 degrees. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be 71 degrees. 71 degrees. If you got that one, absolutely fantastico. A very difficult question there, I would say. Very difficult question. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 22. We have just 2 more questions after this. They're both long ones, but we're going to get them done. This is a 2 marker. Let's have a look. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think about it, and then I'm going to go through it. Timmy says, take care, man. Guys, do I look that tired? Do I look that tired? I actually feel pretty good at the moment. I mean, I'm tired, don't get me wrong. I've been live for 5 hours, eh? But I feel pretty good. Do I look super tired? Hey, good to see you in here, First Class Maths. To anybody who doesn't know, First Class Maths is a fantastic YouTube channel. Makes, in my opinion, probably the highest quality explainer GCSE maths videos on YouTube. Yorkshire Dad in there with the lightning bolts. Albert 2 said you look tired. Some of you guys have been with me this entire time. Guys, what I'm going to say is, if you're super tired, prioritize rest. Prioritize rest. That is what I'm going to say. Okay, let's get this question done. Question 22. Let's see what we can do. The question says that ABC, DEFGH is a cuboid. We're told that AF, so A to F is 6.8. Let's draw that on. A to F is 6.8. So this is 6.8. We're told that F to C, that's going to be this diagonal over here, is 13.6. And we're asked to work out the size of the angle between FC and the plane ABCD. What does that mean? Well, the plane ABCD is the bottom of this cuboid. And working out the angle, we're going to connect them like this. And we can see beautifully that we have this right angle triangle. What topic is this, guys? This is 3D trigonometry. So this is the angle that we want. We're going to call it the angle X. And we're going to start to see what we can set up. Whenever we're dealing with a right angle triangle and we're using or whenever we're using trigonometry with a right angle triangle, I should say, we're going to be thinking of SOHCAHTOA or TOA. To make this a little bit clearer, I'm going to, actually no, it's a clear enough right angle triangle, I would say. So we're going to label our sides. Opposite the X, we have our opposite. Opposite the right angle, we have a hypotenuse. Our other one is going to be the adjacent. We write out SOHCAHTOA, and then we select whichever one we want based on the side lengths which are involved in the question. In this case, we can see that it's the opposite of 6.8, and it's the hypotenuse of 13.6. So we're going to be using the one that includes O and H. We're going to be using SO. What does SO tell us? It tells us that sine of our angle, X, is equal to our opposite divided by our hypotenuse. In this case, our opposite is 6.8, our hypotenuse is 13.6. So we can say sine X is equal to 6.8 over 13.6. 6.8 divided by 13.6, does anybody spot this? This is actually equal to a half. We could rewrite this if we wanted to. We could times the top and bottom by 10 as 68 over 136. Then we could divide the top and bottom both by 68. We're going to get 1 over 2. So this is basically solving sine X is equal to a half. You have to know your exact trig values to do a question like this correctly. Sine of what is equal to a half? Guys, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Sine of what is equal to a half? Does anybody know it? Has anybody watched my video on the hand method? What do we think? What do we think? Okay, the chat's popping. You guys who were saying 30, you're absolutely right. Well done. X is going to be equal to 30. If you got that one, fantastic job. You have to try and go in there first class maths. Well done, Mason. Well done, Bold. Well done, Minty. Well done, Mason again. I don't know how I said the name twice. Well done, Rachel. Fantastic. Okay. Guys, question 23. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's it going to be? Question 23. 4 marks up for grabs in this one. It is a tough question. To anybody who wants some revision with their surds, this is going to be the question for it. What's it going to be? Okay. Couple of questions to go. We're going to be definitely finished by 11, guys, and then I want you straight to bed. I want you straight to bed after this. I'm going to give a bit of time for this question, and then I'm going to go through it. I'm just going to stop playing my music again. Okay. Question 23. Write 3 root 3 over 4 minus root 3 minus 2 over root 3 in the form a root 3 plus b over c, where a, b, and c are integers. Couple of different orders in which we could do this. We could do this by firstly writing them over a common denominator and then simplifying that, or we could rationalize first. Either way is going to be okay. I personally am going to rationalize them first, and then we're going to go through it. Let's have a look. Firstly, how can we rationalize this 3 root 3 over 4 minus root 3? How do we know, first of all, that we have to rationalize it? The way that we know is we can see these surds on the bottom here, but we don't have a surd on the fraction here. So we're going to rationalize this. Let's rationalize the harder one first. So 3 root 3 over 4 minus root 3. When we have a number plus or minus a surd on the bottom, what do we have to do? We have to times by the bottom, but we swap the plus for a minus. Or if it was a plus at the moment, so if we have a plus, we would swap it for a minus. Because we have a minus, we swap it for a plus. So we're going to have times by 4 plus root 3 on the bottom. So we're going to have on the top 3 root 3, and we're going to times that by 4 plus root 3. And on the bottom, we're going to have 4 minus root 3 times by 4 plus root 3. What are we going to have? 3 root 3 times by 4 is going to be, we're going to do the number times the number, so we're going to have 12 root 3. And then we're going to have 3 root 3 times by root 3, so we're going to have plus 3 root 9. This is going to be over. 4 times by 4 is going to be, shall I do this a quick way or the long way? Let's do this let's do it the long way so everybody can see. We're going to do 4 times by 4. That's going to be 16. Then we're going to do 4 times by root 3, which is going to be 4 root 3. Then we're going to do minus root 3 times 4, which is going to be minus 4 root 3. Minus 4 root 3. Then we're going to do root 3 times by root 3. That's going to be minus 3. Root 3 times root 3 is root 9, and root 9 is equal to 3. The 4 root 3 and the minus 4 root 3 cancel each other out, and we have 16 minus 3. We're going to have 13. So we know that we're going to have a 13 on the bottom here. So that is going to be our first fraction. Now, what about simplifying our next fraction? 2 over the square root of 3. 2 over the square root of 3. To rationalize this one, we're going to times the top and the bottom by the current bottom. We're going to times by root 3 over root 3. 2 times root 3 is 2 root 3. And on the bottom, root 3 times root 3 is going to be root 9, which is just 3. So now we've simplified this. We have this big one on the top minus 2 root 3 over 3. Let's write this out super clearly, guys, and simplify. And simplify. What are we going to have? We're going to have, and I'm also going to simplify right now, guys. 3 root 9. The square root of 9 is 3. 3 times by 3 is 9. So we can write this as 9. What are we going to have? We're going to have 12 root 3 plus 9 over 13 minus 2 root 3 over 3. We're going to rewrite these over a common denominator. How can we do it? Well, we can write them both over 39. We kind of cross multiply to work that out. So 3 times 13. We're going to write both of these over 39. How do we get from 13 to 39? We're going to times it by 3. So we're going to do the same with the top. 12 root 3 times 3 is going to be 36 root 3. 9 times by 3 is going to be 27. And then we're going to take away 2 root 3 to get 39 on the bottom. We times by 13. So we're going to times the top by 13. We're going to get 26 root 3 over 39. Final step. What's it going to be? We're going to do our top, take our top, and leave our bottom. 36 root 3. Take 26 root 3. We're going to do the number on the outside minus the number on the outside. It's going to be 10 root 3 plus 27 over 39. Leave that bottom. What form did it want it in? A root 3 plus B over C. Guys, we have done it. Let me say to the 2,000 people on here, roughly. The 2,000? Yeah, 1,800 of us. Guys, if that made no sense whatsoever, do not panic. Do not panic. It's a very tough grade 9 question. The same goes for the final question of this paper, question 24. Guys, we're going to throw some party at the end of this. We're going to throw some party. Yorkshire Dad in there with the lightning bolts. Come on. Beautiful. David Thomas, who I said I understand it now. That's my favorite type of comment. Things we love to see. Things we love to see. Cue number 24. Our final question of our final paper of our GCSE Maths Paper 1 revision. Guys, if you've been with me, if you're still with me, well done for taking it this far. If you have no idea how to do this, do not panic. It's a grade 9 question. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Yorkshire Dad said that weirdly made sense. Good to hear. Good to hear. Sal said, put music on in the last bit. I would love to, but copyright, copyright. If I had it my way, we'd have Afro beats playing this whole time. It would be a Shark, it would be Burna Boy, it would be Davido, it would be Lil Sims, even though she's not really Afro beats, but she slaps. Okay, guys, question 24. Question 24, quadratic inequalities. Let's see what we can do. Just checking if the music, if you guys can hear the music, which I don't think you can. Beautiful, we can't. Perfect, perfect. Okay. And just so you know, at the end of the session, we're gonna do a little bit of a party. Then I'm gonna give some mindset advice for tomorrow. I'm gonna teach you guys a couple of breathing exercises that you could use if you get nervous. It works for all of life, by the way. And yeah, it's gonna be the final wishes. Okay. Woof. Are we ready? Guys, question 24. Drop ready in the chat if you're ready. This is the end of the journey. This is the end of, well, actually, it's the beginning of the journey with regards to the papers. But for this paper, it's the end of the journey. Okay, let's have a look. Question 24. It says find the set of possible values of x for which 4x squared minus 25 is less than 0 and 12 minus 5x minus 3x squared is greater than 0. You must show all of your working. Here, guys, we have two quadratic inequalities. What we're going to do is we're going to solve both of these quadratic inequalities separately, and then we're going to select the region that satisfies both of the inequalities. Let's get it done. For the left-hand one, what can we see? Well, first off, this is going to be a difficult quadratic to solve. We can see, though, if we notice, that we have difference of two squares here, difference of two squares. We have a square number here, 4x squared, minus another square number, 25. So we can actually write this as, oh, let me switch back to blue. We can write this as 2x plus 5 times by 2x minus 5 is less than 0. What does this give us as the roots of the equation? We have x equals negative 2.5 and x equals positive 2.5. The way that we did that was we set those brackets equal to 0 and found the values of x which would make them 0. How do we solve the quadratic inequality? We always sketch it. So x-intercepts are going to be plus and minus 2.5. So we have positive 2.5, we have negative 2.5. We're going to draw a quadratic. That was pretty good, actually, better than I thought. We need where this is less than 0. Where's it going to be less than 0? Well, less than 0 is between these two. So the value of x for less than 0 is going to be negative 2.5. And is it less than or equal to? Nope, it's just less than, is less than x, which is less than 2.5. So that's how we solve our first one. Let's solve our second one. We can see at the moment that this quadratic is 12 minus 5x minus 3x squared is greater than 0. I don't like the fact that we have a negative next to this 3x squared. So I'm going to start off by plussing 3x squared to both sides to make this positive 3x squared. So what are we going to have? We're going to have, I'm going to firstly rewrite it. So I'm going to have, how should I write this? Let's say, let's go 12. Yeah, yeah, let's do it like this. 12 minus 5x minus 3x squared is greater than 0. What we're going to do is we're going to move everything to the right-hand side. So we're going to have 0 on the left now is greater than. On the right-hand side, we're going to add 3x squared. We're going to add 5x, and we're going to minus 12. So we now have the equation 3x squared plus 5x minus 12 is less than 0. It looks a little bit weird written this way around. If we wanted to, we could write it the other way around. We just need to make sure that the inequality stays with the 0 being bigger. So I'm just going to flip this around to make it look a bit nicer. We can say 3x squared plus 5x minus 12 is less than 0. So we flip that inequality around to get a positive next to the x squared. Next step, what's it going to be? How do we solve this? We could use the quadratic formula because there is a number next to the x squared. However, it's not going to be too bad to factorize this one, I don't think. So let's give it a go. Next to the first bracket, we're going to have 3x. Second bracket, we're going to have x. What are going to go in these brackets? Two numbers which multiply to give negative 12 and add to give positive 5 when one of them is multiplied by 3x and the other is multiplied by x. It's going to take me a moment to think about this, guys. Trial and error is going to be the method here. Got it. Okay, we're going to have a negative 4 here, and we're going to have a plus 3 here. Let me check that. Yeah, beautiful. How did I know it was that, guys? Well, if we imagine expanding these brackets, we're going to have 3x squared plus 9x minus 4x plus 9x minus 4x gives 5x. Then we're going to have minus 4 times 3 gives minus 12. Next step. What are the values of x going to be? When is 3x minus 4 equal to 0? X is going to be equal to 4 over 3. When is x plus 3 equal to 0? X is going to be equal to negative 3. Next step, let's sketch it. If you're sticking with me, guys, well done. I know basically nobody on the stream is actually doing this question, but you're still out here for the vibes. Okay. Next up, we're going to sketch it. And we're going to go like this. Which region do we need? Well, again, we need where it is below the axes, where this is less than 0. So it's going to be between these two. What can we say the value of x is going to be? We can say that negative 3 is less than x, which is less than 4 over 3. Now, how do we select? How do we select our final solutions? Well, which is more restrictive? What's the most restrictive? So this one says that x is greater than negative 2.5. This one says that x is greater than negative 3. What's going to be more restrictive is going to be this one here. So if x is greater than, has to be greater than negative 2.5 and has to be greater than negative 3, the more restrictive one is going to be that x has to be greater than negative 2.5. So we're going to have negative 2.5 is less than x. And which one is more restrictive on the other end? Is it 2.5 or 4 over 3? 4 over 3 is the smaller number. It's 1.3 reoccurring. So we're going to have 4 over 3 as the more restrictive option. Guys, that is a pen drop. That is our final question of the day done. Absolutely fantastic work. If you've been with me this evening, how many people do we have on at the moment? Beautiful. We've had 1,700 of us for the whole of this session. Guys, step number 1 of this. Can we please, everybody, spam the chat full of as many good vibe emojis as we possibly can? Guys, and also W's. Also W's. I know you guys like the W's. I personally like the emojis because I think it looks sick. Guys, it's very important at this moment to take a minute to just appreciate the work that you're putting in. Don't worry, I'm going to round this stream up in less than 5 minutes. I know we want to get to bed, so I'm going to round up very quickly. But guys, let's spam the chat full of as many good vibe emojis as we can. I want dancer emojis, disco emojis, party emojis, rocket emojis, all of the emojis you can come up with. We've got Yorkshire Dad with the lightning, Taylor in there. Come on, Tay. We've got Bailey, we've got Rachel, we've got QB, we've got VO2, we've got Yasmin, Apollo, we got Speed Runs, we got Minty Games. Over on the TikTok, we got Ellie dancing, we got Harry Lifts in there with that little tutu disco dancing emoji. Guys, this for 99% of people watching, there's 1,600 of us. Guys, after the end of this stream, please resist the urge to scroll and scroll and scroll. You're going to be met with annoying videos of studying, of revising, of people who are revising 27,000 hours a day. Guys, the best thing you can do between now and tomorrow is to rest. The hard work is now done, and we want to prioritize our revision for tomorrow. Not revision, sorry. We want to prioritize our rest ahead of tomorrow. So, guys, at the end of this stream, get your head on the pillow and get chilled out. Now, I did say I would give some advice for tomorrow. I have, let's say, 1, 2. I have 2 main pieces of advice, okay? 2 main pieces of advice. The two main pieces of advice are this. Obviously, I'm going to say good luck and give it your best shot, whatever. That's the main advice. That's a bit separate. Two main techniques I'm going to share with you. Two main pieces of advice. Step number one, or technique number one, is a breathing technique. So it's very normal before exams. It's very normal before exams, especially big exams like maths, to get a bit nervous, to get a bit anxious. You feel those butterflies in the stomach. You can feel, yeah, it's just pressure, right? It's pressure, it's stress, it's anxiety. There is a way to absolutely destroy this feeling very quickly. Is it going to completely eradicate 100% of it? No. But is it going to get rid of loads of it? Yes, there is. And I know a lot of people struggle with this before exams, especially with maths. So, because some people ask me to scroll up, which I'll do. So, what's the technique? Guys, you have all heard the saying to take a deep breath. You've all heard the saying to take a deep breath. Does it work? Not really. Not really. But what does work? What does work? What works is taking 6 deep breaths. Believe it or not, I don't know how this works. I don't know. Well, I do know how it works. I don't know why it works. I do kind of know why it works. I don't know properly. Guys, 6 deep breaths. So we're going to do it together now. We're going to do it together now. You all have a feeling right now inside of your stomach. You have a feeling, maybe you're just exhausted, to be honest, which is fair enough. But there's going to be lots of funny feelings. So we're going to do it together now. I'm going to do this like with everybody. And I would really, really like everybody to let me know in the chat if it works. Now, the reason that I want you to let me know is because I need to know if people are actually doing this. And trust me, it's worth it. This is going to take 5 minutes. It could really help you for tomorrow. So guys, 6 deep breaths. We're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth. You could go in through the nose, out through the nose if you prefer. You could do the mouth all round if you prefer. Either way is okay, but I prefer in through the nose, out through the mouth. So guys, as I move my hands up, we're going to breathe in. As I move my hands down, we're going to go down. This is really important. We're going to do 6. We're going to do 6. And I need you to let me know how you feel afterwards, whether you feel more chilled out. This is also going to help you sleep tonight. So let's go, guys. Okay, 6 deep breaths. We're going to go in through the nose. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. I'm getting relaxed, guys. I'm getting relaxed. One more. Guys, talk to me in the chat. Do we feel a little bit more relaxed? I know we do because I did it and I already feel more relaxed. I already feel more relaxed. Guys, let me know in the chat. Did it work? Mr. Trader said it works, it works, it works, it works. Lily said I feel sleepy. Guys, everybody is spamming the chat. This is so wicked to see. Okay, everybody's saying it worked. Everybody's saying it worked. Absolutely awesome. Umzi said some BS. Let me tell you, it's not BS. Let me tell you, it's not BS. Okay, loads of people saying it worked. Okay, fantastic. Now, let me tell you, the reason that I actually asked you to do that was to show you that these things work. Now I'm about to tell you the real stuff. Now I'm about to tell you what really makes a big difference. Let me tell you. So if you want to relax, that works. If you're dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with stress, it doesn't work, or like acute anxiety, like before you public speak or right before an exam, it doesn't really work as well. But what does work? MSM2 Funny said it's placebo effect. Let me tell you, it's 2 things. Number 1, it's a bit placebo effect. Number 2, actually, I can tell you all the neuroscience, it's not placebo effect. Basically, what happens is you oxygen. I don't want to go into biology. You guys are going to get PTSD. But basically, it's not placebo. It works properly. So, what's the real effective techniques? It's going to take 2 more minutes, and then guys get to bed. The real technique is something called double inhale exhale. Let me say that again, double inhale exhale. Whenever I have to do public speaking, recently I had some big public speech I had to do. I use this technique myself. I get nervous as well before big events, before, public speaking, big speeches, whatever. I use this technique. I use it literally as I was sitting there, and it calmed all of the nerves down instantly. Well, 90% of the nerves down very quickly. So what's the technique, guys? Double inhale, exhale. This is what we do. We breathe in through the nose like we just did. But just before we get to the top of our breath, we pause for about half a second, and then we breathe in a little bit more. Then we breathe out. So it goes like this. You follow kind of my hand. So we're going to go breathe in through the nose. So you breathe in, you pause a little bit at the top for 1 second, you breathe in a little bit more, and then you breathe out through the nose. We're going to do 6 of these now together. Then we're going to say final goodbyes, and you guys are going to go and smash it tomorrow, okay? So we're going to do 6 of these, and guys, please let me know in the chat if this works. Please let me know if it works. This is just as important, and this is also, by the way, a life skill which is going to be with you forever. So this is one thing, doing it for maths exams, fine, but this is going to be all the time. Let's say you're about to, do I don't know, you guys are a bit younger, but let's say you're about to do a speech at a wedding or something, or some kind of big event, you're a bit nervous. This is going to fix it. So let's do 6 breaths together. And guys, let me know in the chat if it works. In through the nose, pause at the top, a little bit more of a breath. And then we're going to breathe out as we did before. So it's going to go like this. Okay, that's the method. We're going to do 6 now together. Okay, let's go, guys. Ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, I wasn't actually counting. Let's do a few more. Okay, that is at least 6. Guys, talk to me in the chat. How was that? Did it work? I'm like too chilled here now. I'm too chilled out. This is crazy. Okay, let me know. Did it work? Rachel said it worked. Naya said, I think that was 5. Okay, my bad. 5 also works for this one. MK said it works. Apollo said it's amazing. Mr. Trader said, would you not say box breathing is more effective? Interesting. You know your stuff. Not for this. Not for this. If you're trying to, this is what's called parasympathetic breathing. It triggers your nervous system to ramp up, to bring your system into what we call equilibrium. So this is actually more effective than box breathing, in my opinion, for parasympathetic whatever strategies. Guys, don't worry about those fancy words. Basically, this stuff works, man. This stuff works. Okay. Liber said it works. Aquafina said, my heart isn't breathing and isn't beating anymore. I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case. Okay. KJ said, gotta go. Bye-bye. Thank you. Guys, that's what we're going to call it a day. Okay. My final thing. Guys, good luck for tomorrow. After this live, go to bed, get the best night's sleep you possibly can. If you're struggling to sleep, do that breathing method in bed. You're going to fall asleep way quicker. So, final thing I'm going to say is, guys, let's spam the chat full of 4-leaf clover emojis. We're going to spam the chat full of 4-leaf clover emojis. We're going to spread good luck and good vibes to everybody in the chat. And hopefully the questions that we've gone through in the lives this evening. Oh, Miriam, do it. That would be sick. Yeah, do it. If you can make an edit, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. We're going to spam the chat full of 4-leaf clover emojis. We're going to spread the good vibes and the good luck to everybody inside the community. And then we're going to call it a day. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Planiverse. Thank you, Emin. Thank you, Saj. Thank you, MGD. Thank you, MKK. Over on the TikTok, everyone is doing bits as well, spamming that chat full. Guys, I am going to say thank you for a fantastic session this evening. You've put in the work. You've done the revision. All that is left to do now is go and give it our best shot. I would not recommend cramming in the morning. Actually, that's my final tip. I would not recommend cramming in the morning. You want to be priming your brain for activity, for performing at its best. You don't want to be trying to memorize every teeny bit in some random TikTok live. So guys, my advice would be, do not revise crazily in the morning. If you want to do a little bit, that's okay. but don't revise crazily in the morning. The main thing is going to be getting as relaxed as possible and chilling out as much as we can to access all of the revision that we've been doing in the months building up to this. Guys, it's time. I'm going to say hasta la vista. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, MKK. Thank you, No Pyra says we got this. Thank you, Annalise. Thank you, Iman. Thank you, VO2. Thank you, Sarah, Megan, Alson. Thank you, Yizzy. Thank you, May. Thank you, Taylor, especially. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Obster, Maesh. Thank you, Thomas. Guys, it is time to say arrivederci, hasta luego, ciao, ciao, ciao. Good luck for tomorrow. Let me know how it goes. Make sure you let me know how it goes. And I'm going to finish it by saying al presto. Guys, best of luck. I will see you on the other side.